Welcome to Esoterisphere. Previously, we watched wisdom reach toward a brilliance that was not the source. And we followed her through the layered heavens into the threshold of chaos. There, she discovered the limits of solitary yearning. Her voice became prayer. 13 hymns rose like narrow rays toward the realms above. And the light listened. Tonight, we follow what happens when the light answers. This is the second movement of the Pistis Sophia saga. The careful, staged redemption of the fallen wisdom. And what her rescue teaches about trust, remembrance, and cooperation between the worlds. In Pistis Sophia, Jesus is not a distant judge. He is the revealer, who moves freely among the eons. He hears Sophia's hymns and gathers powers of light to shield her and to lift her. The rescue is not a single, dramatic intervention. It unfolds step by step, because Sophia's descent was not a single mistake either. It was a chain of choices that bent light toward shadow. The healing must unknot the chain without breaking her. We are shown a principle that runs through the entire work. Heaven does not overpower the soul. Heaven meets the soul at the measure it can receive. When memory stirs and trust returns, the path opens. Not by force, by alignment. The first mercy is protection. Veils of white gold form around Sophia, like translucent garments, diffusing the pull of the lower powers and limiting what they can siphon from her radiance. The text often speaks of garments and robes. These are not costumes. They are patterns of light that organize a being's presence. A soul clothed in the right pattern interacts with the cosmos differently than a soul stripped of it. Protection does not remove struggle. It creates a margin where Sophia can breathe, pray, and turn her attention upward. Anyone who has tried to change a life knows this. The first victory is often a boundary. Time to think. Space to choose again. The next mercy is lift. Not to the top at once, but in stages. Sophia is raised from one layer of turbulence to the next calmer layer, then held while the powers below rage and spend themselves. The Christic powers do not argue with chaos. They let it exhaust itself. Then they raise her again. This rhythm matters. If rescue were instant, the old pattern would remain hidden. By rising in steps, Sophia sees what once seduced her. She names it. She learns to refuse it. Knowledge becomes strength, not just relief. The text hints that each lift requires consent. Another hymn. Another act of trust. Another willingness to let go of the counterfeit and accept the real. Again, the principle appears. Heaven does not drag the soul. Heaven invites it. Sophia's hymns change tone during the ascent. Early laments are cries from the pit. Later hymns are clear-eyed acknowledgments of what misled her, and renewed confessions of where her help truly rests. Repentance is not self-loathing here. It is accurate seeing. She stops telling herself flattering stories and begins to love the truth more than her pride. Her voice steadies. The hymns are not frantic anymore. They are precise. At each step, she names a deception and rejects it. At each step, she remembers the light and calls on it without bargaining. The ascent is powered by that honesty. The title of this work pairs two words that belong together. Sophia is wisdom. Pistis is trust. The Gnostic insight is that wisdom, without trust, will overreach. Trust, without wisdom, will drift. Sophia fell when she tried to know the source outside the balance of love and communion. She rises when she trusts that the source is not stingy and does not need to be seized. Trust here is not pretending things are fine. It is confidence in the character of the light. It is permission to stop struggling alone. That is why every lift is linked to a hymn. She is not saved by the sound of her voice. She is saved by the orientation of her heart. In canonical stories, Jesus often speaks in parables that point beyond themselves. In this work, he acts within the architecture the parables imply. He mediates between realms. He instructs the light powers how to shield and carry. He sequences the rescue, so it strengthens Sophia rather than leaving her dependent. This is not a contest where one god defeats another. It is a retuning where the misplaced note is brought back into harmony with the song. At times, the text allows the disciples to ask questions. Not to interrupt the rescue, but to clarify what is happening. The answers double as teaching for the audience. You are meant to hear your own life in Sophia's movement. How many times have you reached for a reflection because it looked close enough? How many times have you tried to ascend by willpower and discovered you could not? The Revealer comes to teach another way. Trust first. Then rise. The lower rulers do not rejoice when Sophia slips from their influence. They press harder. The drama intensifies. We are shown a simple truth about transformation. When you begin to leave a pattern that once fed on you, that pattern will try to keep its food. Sometimes through fear. Sometimes through flattery. sometimes through confusion that promises comfort if you stop changing. The veils matter here. They reduce the bite of the old pull, so Sophia can choose, even while she is afraid. This is the mercy of boundaries again. Grace does not remove your choice. Grace makes it possible to choose. Part of the redemption involves calling things by their right names. The text has Sophia identify the counterfeit light that tempted her. She acknowledges that it mirrored the true, but lacked its life. When you can say this clearly, you are hard to fool. Counterfeits do not look wrong. They look almost right. Wisdom learns to notice the seam. Sophia's words sharpen at each stage. The hymns become testimonies. She remembers what the real light feels like and compares everything to it. This is how discernment grows. Not by cataloging every possible trick, but by growing intimate with the real. The rescue has cost. Sophia must let go of works that were once hers. She must allow the light she misplaced to be gathered and returned. There is humility in admitting that some of what you built, without balance, must be undone. There is relief in it too. You do not have to defend a past that did not know what you know now. For viewers who have walked through recovery of any kind, this section may ring like a bell. The climb is not glamorous. It is 1,000 small honesties. It is patience with yourself, and patience with a process that values permanence over speed. It is gratitude for help you cannot provide alone. A pattern emerges. Call, response, lift. The hymns are not a magic spell. They are a rhythm that keeps Sophia aligned while the work unfolds. Anyone can be brave once. The ascent asks for steadiness. It asks for many small yeses. It asks for the trust to keep looking up, even when the lower powers roar. This rhythm is one of the gifts the text offers to practice today. You can build it into your hours. Short prayers that reset attention. Brief moments where you remember what is real. Micro-turnings. The soul learns to live by the orientation it repeats. Just as descent distorted Sophia's presence, the ascent begins to restore it. Her radiance brightens. Her voice strengthens. The powers below hold less interest. She is still aware of them, still cautious, but no longer fascinated. The rescue has changed what she wants. The work also changes her relationship with the higher realms. The veils that shielded now become instruction. Protection turns into education. She learns, again, how to receive light without grasping. She learns that the source is not an object to be taken. It is a life to be shared. Readers sometimes ask why the text spends so much time on gradual stages. Partly because it is honest. Growth is more staircase than elevator. Mostly because the author wants to teach the audience how to endure the middle. Beginnings are dramatic. Endings are celebratory. Middles are where most people quit. Pistis Sophia is a manual for the middle. It tells you that steady trust is not a consolation prize. It is the substance of return. It tells you that heaven is not impatient with you. It is precise. It moves at the speed that makes the change real. By the end of this movement, Sophia is no longer in open danger. She rests within layered light, lifted above the worst turbulence. The lower powers still complain. They claim rights they never truly had. But their reach has shortened. Her attention belongs upward now. The revealer does not finish the work in secret. He prepares to show the disciples the architecture that made the rescue possible. What we have seen in symbol will soon be mapped in order. Treasury of light. Eons and orders. Measures and seals. Not to burden the soul with trivia. To show a cosmos shaped for return. Sophia's redemption is not a fairy tale, where someone waves a wand and all is well. It is a truthful story about how a soul is restored. Protect what is tender. Name what is false. Trust the character of the light. Rise in steps. Learn to want the real more than the reflection. If this movement met you where you are, I would love to hear which line stayed with you. Was it the image of veils becoming garments? Was it the rhythm of call and response? Was it the reminder that help arrives at the measure we can receive? Let me know in the comments down below. Thank you for watching and for walking this path with me. If this series is helping you see old ideas in a new way, tap the thumbs up button so YouTube shows it to more seekers. Subscribe so you catch each step of the journey. And share it with someone who needs a steady story of return. Don't miss part 3, the cosmic map. We will step back and study the architecture that has been quietly guiding this rescue. The treasury of light, the eons, and how order holds space for mercy. I'll see you there.